live. Let's put some music on. Today we're going to go with Golden Age Radio. And sorry about the noise. It is hot today. I have the fan on. Put barely any makeup on because I was just like, I'm just going to sweat it off. Just throw a little bit of concealer, a little bronze action, some powder, some eyebrows, and a little bit of mascara. I guess that is kind of like a lot of makeup, but it really isn't. Because it's not like I was just like, let's just do this. Hello everyone in the chat room, both on Twitch and on YouTube. Okay, so I don't have my little table with me today, so we'll see how things go. But thank you guys for joining me. I hope you're having a great week. Happy Friday. If you're in my secret society, raise up your hands. Extra positive vibes to my secret society. I better be careful with this dress. So, yeah. Once again, I had this whole thing planned to share with you guys yesterday. And long story short, it just didn't happen. And then today I was like, all right, I'm going to do it today. Because I had this real epiphany. And so I guess today this is what I'll do. I'll share with you my thought process and why maybe I'm not doing things exactly the way I envisioned them, but hey, at least I'm doing them. Don't be careful. Get out of here, Tim. So anyways, so before I get into the details, what I mean by that, just so I don't lose you guys and what I'm trying to tell you right now. So the other day I had this like epiphany, right? And when I had the epiphany, I thought, wow, this would be a really cool topic to do one of my live streams, especially if it's a live stream that I do that's going to be Twitch and to YouTube. And I had in my mind like these different photo references I was going to have and do all this research and all this. And then life just happened, man. I'm a busy gal. It just didn't happen. And I didn't want to put it off because this epiphany I had, I don't know, I feel like I should just really throw it out there and share it. So anyways, so the way I feel I'm going to go about it is, since the last 2 attempts, it hasn't gone the way I wanted to, like as far as what I envisioned. I'm going to share with you guys the backstory, and then maybe sometime next week I will record a video in the way I envisioned doing the live stream with like the photo references and all that. Then I'll put it up on YouTube, and then what I can do later on is do a review, a watch with you guys. So then you guys can do that live chiming in kind of thing. But I think that's the way I'm going to do it. I think that's the good formula, because here's something I've noticed about myself. I'll have a certain way where I'm like, oh, I'm going to do this video this way or do this photo shoot this way. And then like life happens, things happen. And then because that's not exactly the way I thought to do it at first, I end up procrastinating, and sometimes it doesn't get done at all. And then other times, maybe I finally get to it, but it's still not what I envisioned, and it came out even better. So hey, it worked out. But the times that irk me is when I give up on an idea, or I just kind of abandon an idea or situation because it's not perfect yet. So I'm really trying to bring myself out of that habit, hence today's stream. Thank you guys for joining me. If you are joining me for the first time here on Twitch, or on YouTube. Would really appreciate it if you subscribe to either channel. If both, we have A plus plus plus. Hey, I get it. Not everyone uses both. So here's the epiphany I had, and I know my audience, and most of my audience probably couldn't care less about what I'm going to share with you, but here it goes. Let me get a sip of water. No, I mean about what I'm going to tell you what I waste my time on. So, I've been a content creator for quite some time now. I have been doing content creating since about 2008. I would say after, I kind of was doing content creating when I was in WWE though, because I would always hit up the photographers for photo shoots. I'd always have ideas, and then when I was in TNA, the same thing. I'd have different ideas and get together with the photographer, and I would schedule shoots with them that really no one told me to do. I just wanted to be creative and content create, And so I've been doing this for a really long time, even before it was like what it is today, where everyone and their mom is a content creator now. And that journey from back in the day when the internet and the tools that we have now was nowhere near what it is today, back then, like in the early 2000s, it just really changes things. So me being a model, right? And a wrestler, you used to mail your stuff in, whether it was my modeling card or my promo tape or whatever. It was a whole different ballgame. And I'm sure a lot of you, I know my audience is typically around my age. I know it's all over the place, but typically a good chunk of you guys are about around my age. So you get it. But some of you youngins, you have no idea how hard it was in the entertainment business. Not that it's super easy now, but it's easier. Anyway, so what I started to do as content creating really started to slowly become a thing is I pay attention to these top content creators that were in positions that at times I wanted to be at, as far as I want to generate that kind of money online making my content. Because not only do I like to be in front of the camera and everything, but I'm very long story short, I shoot almost everything. I edit almost everything, pretty much everything. I come up with concepts, I do it all, right? So content creating for me just totally makes sense. I can get into this so much and go into so many different rabbit holes, but the rabbit hole we're going to go into today is a specific group. Some of you may know, maybe a lot of you don't, I don't know. But today we're going to talk about David Dobrik and the Vlog Squad. Do you guys know who David Dobrik and the Vlog Squad are? Hey, how's it going? Going well, hot, but I got my fan and I got my dress. This dress is very loose, so tapes back in the day, yeah. Hey, Scorch, how's it going? Anyways, so something that I learned, so me studying these people, right? Because they're in these positions to where it's they're making content creating their full-time gig, whatever. I would take different times, and I've talked about this before on Twitch, where I would do my YouTube homework, meaning I would go and watch these different top creators to see how they do things, in hopes that I would understand the flow of work and what you got to do to be successful, right? Because there was just nobody teaching this stuff, and the people that were doing it that I did know personally were not giving up that kind of information. So you just got to do the work yourself. So one of the things I learned is, first of all, with fame and fortune comes a price. And that price isn't always worth it. When I came to that conclusion, that's when I said, I don't want to be a famous YouTuber or content creator. I just want to be able to live comfortably, and that's all I care about. So then when I graduated to that, that's when there have been times where I'm like, man, you hear these stories, and then there's some people that I know, so then I would hear stories from within, not just what's out on the internet, of these content creators that are these top content creators, and like the horrible behavior and just how they are and how they treat people. And so for someone like myself, it was a really hard pill to swallow, because I'm like, dude, this person is a complete jerk, not good to people, not good to people around them. But why? What is this thing? And then that's when it became fascinating. I was like, what is this thing where it's like you have these groups, they form Jake Paul, Logan Paul, like, you know, at one point Shane Dawson, and it's like they form these different groups. Especially like in the David Dobrik situation, I feel it's like creating jobs and opportunities, which is awesome. But when you hear these stories and you see things, it's just kind of like, dude. And so then that goes back to like, what is it about that these people seem like these like ride or die for David Dobrik, Shane Dawson, you know, the leaders, right, of these groups. So I almost, in a way, became obsessed with like learning about these people, because I was so intrigued on how, like, are these people really friends? Is it just a business arrangement? Is it both? And then another thought that I've come across many times in my head when doing all my research for a lot of these people is I can relate to a lot of this stuff, especially when you hear about these falling outs and things like that, because wrestling is very similar. I'm going to go ahead and say the entertainment business, but wrestling in particular, just because you travel a lot with people and you're around these people more that you work with than you see your own family most of the time. So then it became like a different kind of like intrigue to me that I was like relating to it in a whole other level, especially being in the entertainment business and things like that. But my epiphany I had the other day was crazy, because leading up to my epiphany, people like David Dobrik, especially, rubbed me the wrong way, and I don't know why. And I feel bad saying I'm not trying to be a jerk, but that's just how I feel. Seemingly have like this life, not necessarily that I want, but it's like kind of like that injustice. Like, you know, you guys can probably relate, like, you know, some jerk at your work that gets the promotions and all this and that, and he's a jerk. And you see him being a jerk to everyone else, and you're like, why is the jerk getting the comeuppance, you know? And so it was just become this whole weird relationship I've had, to where it's been like anger, bitter. I hate to admit it, but at times I've been bitter about it. And then to where it's like, okay, maybe I get it. Maybe it's this and that. But my epiphany I had the other day, I was watching, this was just yesterday actually. I was just watching, yes, you guys know that follow me on Twitter. I love the show Tune In With Me. What is Tune In With Me? Well, there's a network. It's called MeTV, and on MeTV, they have usually they have different shows on there that are from like blasts from the past. They have like Gilligan's Island, Perry Mason. That's where I watched Svengoolie. For those of you who also know, I love Svengoolie, and he always shows old campy horror films and things like that of different genres and years, sci-fi, things like that. So, and then they also have like Star Trek, Three Stooges, and they play a lot of different old cartoons, like talking about from like back in the day, like the 40s, 50s, 60s. Lots of Betty Boop, Looney Tunes, Pink Panther, things like that. So Tune In With Me is this really cute show. It's Monday through Friday in the morning at 7 a.m. and it's this duo where there's like a cartoon curator, I can't even talk, Bill, and then his sidekick is this puppet named Toonie, who's a little fish. So I was watching them yesterday, and they were doing this whole thing where it was like a book club thing, right? And they do little skits and stuff like that. It's really awesome. I love it. And in between the cartoons and everything. And one of the things that Bill said was, "This is my favorite book, The Great Gatsby." And then Toonie, the whole like scene was like him explaining to Toonie, who has never read it, what The Great Gatsby was all about. And he was like, it's, he had a distant relative come and see his life, and even though he saw his life and he really, like, a part of him really wanted it, he saw the other side of it, and he was sad for the guy and didn't want that life. And that's when I was like, oh my gosh, is David Dobrik and people like him, like on The Great Gatsby, where it's all these people, they're all there, all these people are at these parties, and everyone's like, oh, Gatsby, 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 Gatsby. But like nobody was even there for him at his funeral. And when it was all said and done, they were all just there for the party, there for the experience, there for whatever they can get. And at the end of the day, here's this dude who is so flashy and always trying to impress and keep like this image up and who he is and blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, he was just really this lonely guy. And so that's when I was like, oh my gosh. And I specifically thought about David Dobrik. And I was just like, is that the case? And it'll be interesting to see because all these people are way younger than me. And so it'll be interesting to see them grow older and see where their careers go, see what falling outs happen. Because I've already seen that happen throughout my years of like watching these different people and them starting to get older and stuff like that. And it is such a trip. And I wanted to talk about that with you guys, not just because like I thought it'd be interesting talking about, but I would love to hear what you guys think about that because some of you out there too watch these different people. So if you're not live here joining me, put them in the comments. I'd love to read what you guys have to say. Maybe I'll do a follow-up video on this reading comments. I just kicked over my water. Dang it! Dang it! And so code SM9 says, David is the kind of guy who hosts drinking parties but doesn't drink just to use people around him for content. And that's the thing, but it's like, okay, so that's, and let me tell you something, David Dobrik rubs me very wrong. So I'm not saying this in his defense, but now I'm just seeing things on the other side. Are they using him as much as he's using them? Like, here's what I wonder. In the world of wrestling, something that I learned, and like when I talk about all these years, like, oh, I learned the wrestling business, it wasn't for me because I saw what it was all about. And it's not just about the politics. It's also about how I saw people treated each other. For example, I would see these two people over here. And in the wrestling business, not only on TV are they known to maybe work with each other a lot for many, many years, let's say. But people know in real life that they're really friends. Maybe they grew in the wrestling business together or whatever, started together, whatever. So me being a person that was once a fan turned now pro wrestler, turned now I'm in WWE, I went into it with this expectation that certain people were like super tight. And that was their homie right there. And to hear the trash talking, oh, they think they're so great, and it's like, whoa, it's not supposed to be like that. I thought there was this whole painted picture. You were like, you guys had each other's back, and like everyone knows this, and blah blah blah. And that's just not always the case. And then it really broke my heart to see, especially when it happened to me personally, with many people in the wrestling business. those friendships were just friendships at that time because of what we were all doing. For example, the people that hurt my feelings and I've been butthurt and all bitter and upset about for years. I'm over it now so I can laugh, but for a long time it really bothered me. I've confronted these people. In my mind, I thought we were building these memories together, building these moments together, starting in this business together, and then becoming, successful in what we're doing. But because now I'm not in the wrestling business, you don't return my texts, this and that and the other. So it just makes me wonder if people like the Vlog Squad. Does that happen? Because you see some of them are like hang out more than others with like maybe these two over here hang out a lot more than these ones over here and these ones over here. It's not like high school. It's just not very high school. It's not just life, right? That's the common denominator I keep coming across with life. It's like high school. That's what high school's for, I guess. Just to prepare us for freaking life. School in general. But anyway, so it's like, are there little conversations that happen like, oh gosh, David, he was like blah, 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 and he was like, da, 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 da. Oh God, David, da, 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 da. But then like they would, like, does that happen? Like I wonder. I kind of think it might. Maybe not. And if not, I'm jealous. I'm jealous that that group of Vlog Squad people have each other's back no matter what. But as I've learned, what happened to that fellow Jeff that's friends with Tana Monju. Yeah, Tana Monju. Monju. Is that how you say it? That doesn't seem like the case. Vlog Squad probably the only thing worse than the wrestling business when it comes to friendships, and that says a lot. Wow. What makes you say that? Please enlighten me, because I don't know everything. I just know things that I've come across here and there. I've invested some of myself in this, but not 100%, just some of it. People who used to be part of the Vlog Squad that distanced themselves from David have fallen out of relevancy in the public eye. Many come back and ask to do anything for him to try to get their social media popping again. Yeah, dude. And that's how it is in wrestling. And it drove me nuts. I get it. It makes sense in a way, like when you think about it. But it drove me freaking nuts, and I just couldn't hang. I couldn't hang with it. And maybe that's why I'm a failed wrestler and a failed content creator. Anyways. But yeah, maybe my career is doing deep dives on these people. There's really cute channels that do those deep dives. They do a really good job. Maybe that's my calling. Tana, how do you say her last name? Tana Monju? Tana Monju? She takes really cute pictures. Hey, thanks for joining, Dylan. First timer over there on the YouTubes. No, I'm very curious. I have not been watching them I guess I kind of been watching them for probably, no, maybe not that. I became mainly aware of the Vlog Squad because Trisha Paytas was dating Jason Mraz. And so that's when I really became aware of like what they even were. So I wonder if that's the case for like a lot of people, that their numbers went up when Trisha was dating Jason. And I've tuned into Trisha's stuff on and off for years because we have worked a couple gigs with each other back in the day. So it's not like I know her, but like I've worked with her in life. So I've always been curious to see how she is. I know I'm not a failure. That was my attempt at humor. So how's everybody doing today? Anybody got some plans this weekend? I do. You want to hear about them? I'll tell you while you're typing away what you're going to do this weekend. Was finally a prick. Please don't tell. Wait, please tell. Don't. What? Was finally a prick. Please tell, don't. What? Okay, code SM96. Do you know about Jason's fiance that he has right now? So this weekend, I'm going to go to a butterfly exhibit. I went last year. I'm going to go again. And then I'm going to go to a marionette event. I'm very excited about that. Okay, so did she have two names? Because I hear him when I see his Snapchat, her name's Naveen, right? But doesn't he call her Michelle sometimes? Or is Michelle somebody else? Oh, yeah. Sometimes that 710 hits just fine. Who was a good person? I'm so confused, Cybertecha. I love that Code SM96 is giving me answers to things that I have no idea. Yes, Jay. Okay, so I'm so confused. So is her name Naveen? Naveen? And Michelle? I don't know why you're talking about Fit Family, but okay. I want to know about if Naveen, if she has two names. How come sometimes he says Michelle? How come sometimes he says Naveen? Or is it two different people? Naveen J. But what about Michelle? Who's Michelle? Because he'll be like, oh, Michelle, blah, blah, blah. Or there's Michelle, and I swear it's her. I'm like, who the hell is Michelle? It's so hard to say what my favorite vampire is because there's so many different vampires and different genres and different eras. No, but Code, you still haven't confirmed for me. You guys just love that. You guys are over here talking to me wrestling, which totally makes sense. I'm here for it. Don't get me wrong. But I'm over here obsessed with wanting to know who the F Michelle is. And if that person, Michelle, is indeed Naveen J. She's real cute. And she wears really cute outfits. I know nothing about her. And all I know about Jason Nash is that he's Trisha's ex-boyfriend. And David, I don't mean to sound like a jerk, but he kind of comes off like David Dobrik's bitch. But I could be wrong. Maybe they're just like BFF. I don't know. So anyways, yeah, you guys. Got some house guests for the next few days here at the house. So it's been a little changing my schedule around kind of thing, a little hectic, things that maybe not going as planned, but not in a bad way. We had a really nice brunch before I came and met with you guys. It was really awesome. And I'm looking forward to leftovers. I'll tell you what. And I know I've been all over the place here, especially on my Twitch channel. I hope to have a more consistent flow, especially on my Twitch channel for you guys. So stay tuned for that. You're absolutely right, Shelly. David has. I mean, it just seems that way. I could be wrong. I don't know. I'm just some old lady that's on the internet trying to make a buck, and I come across these kids and they intrigue me. These damn kids! They intrigue me. It's interesting. Oh, something that I did today. I want to show you guys. I finally, for now, I mean, I'm going to still put little details, but for now, finished my flower wall. I'm so excited about that. So it's really cute. So if I have long shots, you know, I probably totally just messed up my shot now, but that's okay. This flower wall has been in the making for a really long time, so it's super exciting to me. It's so pretty, not just for shoots and content making, but you know, I do come in my garage to medicate, and sometimes when I medicate, I hang out in here a while, or sometimes when I have people over, we hang out here, and yeah, it feels really nice when I kind of look around, especially when I put the lights on. And again, not for shooting, just for the vibe. And it's just so freaking cute in here. I just can't. It's so cute. Different vibes in every little corner. And it's just really coming together. I'm hoping to have my pool table soon here. I have my Hanging Out with Stoner Jesus video I still want to put out for you guys. I'm probably going to just put it together. No, I spliced it up. Remember? Okay, so the next live stream we do, I'm gonna show you guys that. We're gonna hang out a little bit. I'll show you some video clips. It'll be really fun. It probably won't be until next week though, because like I said, I have house guests until Monday, so probably on Wednesday. So stay tuned. And because my house guests are here, I don't want to be too rude, so I'm gonna take off. But thank you guys so much for joining me. I hope you had a nice time. Thank you for joining me in the flower room. Maybe next time I do a little tea time, get some cute tea going, something like that. And yeah, we'll see what happens. Send you guys lots of positive vibes, love and light going into the weekend. And I'll talk to you soon. Adios. Oh, until next time, I'm Shelly from Kelly, and I'll be smelling you later. Adios.